Welcome again, Maxim here, and this is the third and final video about spy missions. It will show you how to deal with these missions on Earth, Jupiter, Uranus, Kuva Fortress and Lua. However, if you haven't seen the previous materials, I strongly encourage you to check them out. The first material covers the basics, show useful tricks, mods and warframes that make those missions easier. The second material covers basic Grineer and Corpus spies, those which you can encounter on most sectors in navigation. Links to these videos are in the upper right corner of the screen, as well as in the description. Okay, time to learn spy missions on unique sectors. On those missions, you will always face the exact same 3 rooms. Let's start with the Grineer Forest. This tileset is quite unique. The spies here are not complicated, and there are not many alternative ways. The first vault is a place where you have to lower the water level first. Do this by hacking 3 consoles. The first one is in the front of the entrance, down the stairs. Enemy units move around here. Pass or eliminate them, the choice is yours. The second console is also ahead, but a little higher, behind the waterfall. You can jump in here, walk on the zip lines located above you, or you can find a sealed pipe on the right side of the room. After breaking it and going through the pipe, you will reach the second console, but it's easiest to just take a jump through the waterfall. The third console is under the second. Now you have 2 ways. Either you hack the door, leading to the data terminal, or, if you are allergic to hacking and like to do it as little as possible, on the left you can find another patched pipe. Through it you get to the terminal. The second area starts with a pipe runoff. At the bottom you have to climb to the very top of this place. Familiarize yourself with this area, because at different enemy levels, this room will have different traps. Lasers, barriers, regulators, patrolling enemies, or there will be nothing special here, except patrols. As for climbing, you can climb stairs, use zip lines or pipes to launch yourself higher with water. In some places, you can shut fuses to extend bridges. It is a rather simple room. Check where you should go and get there by walking or jumping. In the last vault, you will come across several barriers, in the upper part of the tunnel and in the riverbed. In this room you will have some options. Going all the way down and eliminating the patrolling unit there, you can go left or right. On the left there is a precipice and narrow rocks for jumping. The right side is an electric floor. After choosing one of these paths, you will find one mob and a door to the terminal. However, you can get there another way, way faster. Right after entering and passing first pair of barriers, there is a pipe with a loose grate under the ceiling. Through it, you can get straight to the console. Now, Sealabs on Uranus. 2 or 3 possibilities in each vault. First room is quite large. At the entrance, you will notice a patrolling unit. Your decision what to do with it. At the end of the location, on the left, is a vent. Through it, you will be 1 floor lower, but you can just use the stairs on the left from the start. With vent, you will come out under these stairs. At the bottom, you can take 2 paths. On the left, jump into the water. After destroying few loose turbines and swimming through several sections, you will reach the terminal room. The second option is to go back behind stairs. Go through the door on the left and you will see 3 fast-moving scanners. Pass them or use some warframe skill. Behind them is a console to hack the door. Or you can use the vent, if you are allergic to hacking. Both ways lead to the data. Third option is to jump into the hole in the ceiling to the right of the entrance. There you will find 2 scanners. Those are easier to avoid. Just roll over.
Are you serious?
Jump into a vent and turn left at the bottom. Here you will find a data terminal. The second room has 3 paths. At the start, you see an elevator going up. You can jump into the water at the base of its shaft and swim inside. In the tunnel, there will be barriers that an agile player is able to avoid with few jumps. At the top, you have to shoot 2 cylinders to jump into the room with the terminal through the vent. The second option is to sneak past the patrolling regulators, unless you prefer to destroy them. First, you head to the stairs, which are at the opposite end of the room. On the next level, go left. And on the next one, go straight ahead again, slightly to the left, and pass the cyclically active barrier. Here jump up and you see the terminal. The last option is to flood the room, level by level. There are 2 glass seals on each. Shooting both will flood the level. Seals are next to each other or on opposite walls. Flooding deactivates the barrier, protecting each level above from jumping. After flooding all 3, the terminal is yours. The last room requires mostly swimming. Here you have to be careful not to get sucked in or pushed out by the turbines. Being pulled in can trigger an alarm, as there are often scanning barriers in front of the turbines. First way is to enter the water on the left and follow the glowing pipe. Avoid active turbines, swim at the right moment or destroy turbine fuses. They are usually located in the corners of the turbine. Follow the glowing tube all the time. Eventually, you'll come to the surface. There is a door waiting for you and a terminal behind it. The second way from the start is to jump into the water on the right. You swim to the left and follow glowing pipe. Between the water pulses, swim ahead and destroy 2 larger fuses to disable turbines. Swim higher and there, from a distance, destroy 4 fuses in the corners. Now you can swim out of the water. Here you have to jump to the other end of the corridor without falling into the water, because there is a scanner on its surface. Moving walls are an additional obstacle. Go through the ventilation at the end. There you will find a terminal. It is time for one last Grineer spy, the Kuva Fortress. It sounds scary, but it's not that hard. First room has several options to pass it. I will, however, divide this vault into sectors and discuss how to go through them one by one. The vault has 4 zones: entrance, side, back and data zone. Once inside, you will see 2 consoles. Pass or kill a patrolling enemy, if you see one. Using the right console, you lay down the bridges and activate left console. When you hack it, the door to the side zone opens. You can also get there the other way. There is a pipe underneath the platform with the left console. You can stand on it and destroy the fuse there. Then the door to the side zone will open. But you can get there even faster. Looking towards the door to the side zone, standing near the fuse, you can see a tunnel on the left, which you can easily jump into. You will be under the floor of this zone. Climb out from under the floor or continue crawling. This will take you to the back zone. However, if you choose to hack the console or destroy the fuse and you entered the side zone through the door, there's another patrolling unit here and an indestructible scanner. The only options are to avoid its beam or to use invisibility. If you are not going under the floor, you have to hack the terminal to go further. Then the door to the back zone stands open. There you have to be careful, because apart from the patrolling enemy, there are 2 more scanners on the walls. Avoid them or use invisibility. Except that, the back zone is identical to the starting one. Use the right console to lay down the bridges and activate the left console. Left one opens the door after being hacked or when the fuse underneath is destroyed. Both solutions give you access to a data terminal. However, without invisibility, you won't be able to hack the console to the last door without raising an alarm. But there's another way in this vault. Upon entering the vault, you can see pulsating electric beams to the left. If you pass them at the right moment and destroy the fuse to the last door, you can get to the data terminal very quickly. This route requires practice, however electrocution does not activate the alarm. The next rooms are less complicated. The second has 2 or 3 ways to complete. It depends how it is generated. By default, when you go from the entrance to the right, you pass 1 unit, 1 scanner, and go to the main part of the vault. Here you can move through the upper part, but there are many mobs patrolling, maybe even a regulator. There are also scanners. Completing this way without invisibility borders on the miraculous. Therefore, when entering the main part, jump down into the technical tunnel. There you will come across constantly present barriers that will trigger the alarm if touched. However, you can either bypass them using proper Warframe skills, or you can turn right. This way you can go up at the back of the room. By sneaking past or eliminating the patrolling unit, you can enter the second technical tunnel. Be careful though, because the scanner can catch you here. This way you can go to the terminal without hacking any consoles and using any Warframe. You can also go to the left from the start, if you see that the vent on the left under the ceiling is clear to go. This way you get directly to the first technical tunnel. The last data vault in the fortress is quite a large room. The first option here is to bypass the patrolling regulators on the left. And get to the door with the scanner. You hack the door and destroy the scanner, but if you step into it, it doesn't trigger the alarm. The second way is on the right. It has a faster and slower variant. Slower requires you to pass the patrolling regulator and the scanner. Once you do that, you will find yourself in front of a door that only opens to Grineer units. Theoretically, since you can throw Clem's Spectre, and the door will open. And to be honest, you can use any non-Warframe Spectre, even a Railjack crew. Behind the door, you will find a console and a moving scanner. Check how it moves or use invisibility. The console on the left will give you access to the door that separates you from the data terminal. And, back to the faster variant, you can jump straight through the middle of the vault, towards to the room I just described. Pass one scanner along the way, and when entering the room with the console to open the way to the terminal, watch out the position of the scanner, because you can be detected immediately after entering. Check through the window how the scanner is set up, and you already know the rest of the way. Corpus also have one unique tile set with spy mission, Jupiter Gas City. The first room gives you two possible ways. On the start you immediately see the data terminal, but you have to unlock access to it, with two consoles at the bottom. Here you can see 4 doors, 2 of them will be open. By choosing the door with the stairs down, you will be able to jump through the vent, but first destroy the camera in front of it. Vent leads to the other side of the room. After jumping down, you will be in the front of the first required console. If you choose the second way at the start, walk till you reach small console. It switches the lasers from continuous beam to pulsating. Jump through them at the right moment. And here you have another of the required consoles to complete. They are quite close to each other, and when you get to one, you can quickly get to another. They are separated by a lasers that moves all the time from right to left in a small corridor. In the middle of it is a small recess, in which you will find a button to turn off the laser. After hacking both of these consoles, return to the start by any route and hack the data terminal. The second room starts with taking the elevator down. There you can go left or right side. If you choose the left side, shut down the camera that is hanging slightly to the right. Both routes have 2 floors, plus additional rooms that give you option to hide totally from the main rotating laser, and from drones, which can be present on a higher level missions, or in the Namar version. In those additional rooms you may find other lasers, but more safer ones than this rotating one. If you have a Warframe that can pass the lasers, this route sounds like something extra, but without special skills, there will be a little bit safer. Back to the main room, you can hide behind columns and shields, or create more of them by using special buttons. Passing the zone, you will see stairs and a couple of lasers. After going under or over them, you will have the final corridor, with more lasers. Both the right and left side lead to this point. Behind this obstacle, you will find a data terminal. The last room has 3 ways. The first 2 are room with flames on the right and with ice floors on the left. If you choose ice, I suggest jumping on walls. Before you reach to the end of this vault, no matter which side you go, keep an eye on the walls, right after you see a stairs going up, as there may be a few cameras. Both sides lead to a corridor with moving lasers. After passing them, you'll have access to the data terminal. The third way is a vent present on both sides, right after going down the starting stairs. Jump down, and here you have to wait for the right moment between energy pulses. Go to the end of the room using recesses. Being at the end, turn off the pulses with a console. Then jump higher, use another console, and wait for the right moment to jump even higher. And the last location with a spy missions, Lua. The first two rooms are not much complicated, but the third one is a real masterpiece. But first things first. Spy missions here have unique mechanic. You move between the past and the present. In the past, the vaults are in perfect condition. In the present, however, completely devastated. A special cloud is used to teleport, which is sometimes inactive. Then the transparent sphere is visible. You activate it with a shot. You can complete the first room either entirely in the past or in the present. Whichever way you go, start by opening the barrier on the left in the past. To complete the room in the present, use the portal again. Here you have to jump over the ruins, avoiding the lasers and mobile scanners. At the end of the room, you have to jump into a small hole in the wall. If you want to get a better jumping position, about halfway through, you will find a hole in the wall with 3 moving lasers. Pass them, and from here it will be easier for you to jump into the hole. Now you have to make a fairly precise jump, first on the wall, then on the other side of the room. All this while avoiding lasers and electricity. After jumping into another small hole, you will find that the data terminal is too damaged to extract anything from it. So you need to jump into the past for a while and collect the data. The second way is also a little bit challenging. The whole thing is to push the sphere by shooting it, but only when you wall large special walls. After pushing the sphere halfway through the room, you have a second task. Grab each levitating wall, avoiding the rotating laser. You can stop the laser for a while by shooting a special button, but you can make it without it. The last stage here is to defeat 4 mobs. They are not much demanding. Then you can hack the data terminal. You can go 2 ways in another vault to complete it. If you go up to the right, wait so that you don't fall into the lasers right away. Then go through the door and jump down. Fall into a portal and go to the end of the room, avoiding lasers. You can shoot down some of them if it makes it easier for you. Go through the door and climb the stairs at the top. Activate the pressure plate and rush down to the newly opened gate. Behind it, you will find a data terminal. The second option is to go left at the start. Watch out for the lasers and enter the portal into the past. There, find the next portal nearby. While in the present, go through the corridor with the platforms, avoiding the scanning drones. Behind the door at the end, jump down avoiding the drone and enter the portal to the past. And here you already know the way. Pressure plate, gate and data. And we've come to the greatest spy vault. I will divide it into stages, which I will discuss in various ways. You start on the right, shoot the button and go through the portal into the past. Hack the door, go through them and head left. Hack another console that will slide out from the floor when you approach. As you go forward, you will see another button. It will open the gate, turn off the lasers in the door, but also activate other that moves around the next room. You can pass the lower laser by hiding behind the decorations. A similar obstacle awaits on the other side. However, if the gate closes, you can use the vent in the wall at the right moment. You can also teleport yourself there. After passing through this segment, you will see a large pressure plate. Up to this point, you can also go in the present. You start as before. Button, teleport, console. But when you leave the room, shut down the chandelier and return to the present. There will be a hole in the floor that you can jump into. At its end, there will be a teleport to the past and the console. And after activating it, you can go higher. This is the place with the large pressure plate I mentioned a minute ago. After pressing it in the past, a door will open. Behind them will be stationary and moving lasers and ice floors. Touching the lasers will trigger the alarms. Knowing where they are and how they move, you can try to avoid them. There are 2 rooms in front of you behind 2 gates that are temporarily open. These rooms are full of lasers. Piece of cake for a Wukong or Limbo. Doable with other characters, but requires agility. After passing these 2 rooms, a memory puzzle awaits you. However, you can get to it in an easier and calmer way than a race against the time between lasers. After pressing the large pressure plate and stepping onto the icy floors, you will find a portal in the center of the room. In the present, there is a hole in the wall on the left. Going through it, you will pass the locked gate and find yourself in the next room with lasers. Between this and the next room, there is a portal to the past. With its help, you can get to the second room. And from there, without major obstacles, to the memory puzzle. This way, you can find yourself in it, both in the past and in the present. Your choice. But there's also a third way to complete this stage. Going through the hole in the left wall, you immediately turn left. You will come to a forked road. The path to the right will lead you to the large pressure plate where you started this stage. The path on the left has a portal. Go into the past and destroy the explosive container. Go back to the present, and now there will be a hole. Go through it, and on the right you will see a memory puzzle. There is not much you can do with it in the present. It is too damaged. Here you can only go further through the door on the left, but more on that in a moment. In the past, the puzzle is fully working. After shooting the button, surrounded by small circles, you will see that smaller ones light up in a specific order. According to it, you will have to activate the postaments by jumping on them. When done correctly, the front door will open, leading to the data terminal. This is the first way to complete this vault. However, if you fail the presented sequence, you have an infinite number of attempts, until you touch the laser. After each fail, slowly rotating lasers will be activated from the center of the room, up to 8. 9th and each subsequent failure carry nothing more. Okay, now the door on the left. In the past, you will see ice floors, several lasers and a pressure plate. After using it, you will be able to pass a huge room with many moving lasers and seismic death balls. Touching a seismic wave or a laser will trigger the alarm. The entrance and exit gates from this room are on time, but once you are here, after turning the alarms, you will have no problem making it to the data vault, if knowing what to do. The alarm here has the longest timer, about 1.5 minutes. Back to the vault. If you manage to sneak to the other side of this part, there is one last little segment waiting for you. However, if any gate closes, you must go through the present. Portals here are on the platform near the exit gate and in front of the entrance gate, next to the pressure plate. To get through the exit gate, stand on a platform next to it. You will open it in the present, but to do so, you need an explosive from the past. Looking up, you will see a button on the wall. Shot it. The explosive container will go down the tube straight to the teleport. Enter it as well. And then you will see the container under the column. Explosion will cause the column to destroy the exit gate. Behind there is a small segment mentioned earlier. You will go through it, starting from the past. Hack the console on the left and wait for the button on the wall to slide under the explosive container. Shut the button. It will create a portal that will pull in the container. Then jump into it yourself and use the container in the present. Detonate it will make a hole in the wall, and behind it you will find another portal. Before you go through it, you can shoot the explosive under the rock. Thanks to this, you will get to an additional room with lockers and containers in the past. Being in the past here, you can finally hack the data terminal. And this is the second way to complete this vault. And now everything is in your hands. You already know the intricacies, tricks and paths of all spy missions currently in the game. Good luck solving them. If you have any questions, please type them in the comment section or visit one of my streams, link in the description. See you next time, bye.